Look, when President Trump was president, you didn't see crisis after crisis. You just didn't see it. I shudder to think about what COVID would have been like under Joe Biden. We've seen Afghanistan blow up, crime in the streets, you named it all. What would COVID have been like? Because I was in the White House when it was...
Kayleigh, did you really just say that under Trump's presidency we didn't see any crisis, let alone crisis after crisis after crisis? Because, like, Joe Biden hasn't even been in office for a full year yet, and we're supposed to simply just forget how Trump just handled COVID-19 or the election process. Another day, another episode of the Republican Muppet Show. So I'm going to go ahead and run the tape for you.
First, we begin with the crisis in Iran. Overnight, President Trump approving a military strike, retaliating after Iran shot down that U.S. surveillance drone, but then reversing course at the last minute with planes already in the air. Our chief global affairs correspondent, Martha Raddatz, leading us off this morning. Good morning, Martha.
Well, I think Puerto Rico was incredibly successful. Puerto Rico was actually our toughest one of all because it's an island, so you can't truck things onto it. Everything's by boat.
We are outside of San Juan in the town of Guaynabo. It was hit very hard. A lot of destruction to homes, down trees and power lines as well. And now they're dealing with this, flooding in every direction. The emergency management director saying the entire island is destroyed. Many of these homes not built to withstand any hurricane, let alone a Category 4.
But the hurricane came and took my house.
Well, I feel about vaccines like I feel about tests. This is going to go away without a vaccine. It's going to go away, and we're not going to see it again, hopefully, after a period of time.
Hospitals in the U.S. are under siege. As the number of coronavirus patients continues to mount, medical facilities across the country have run out of healthcare workers, ventilators, and even hospital beds.
Donald Trump making the single most controversial foreign policy decision of his presidency, abandoning a deal that Europe had implored him to respect.
We cannot prevent an Iranian nuclear bomb under the decaying and rotten structure of the current agreement. The Iran deal is defective at its core.
Where startling confrontations with counter-protesters unfolded. A Trump flag is burned as insults and items are hurled at the vehicles. Trump supporters shot paintballs from an open truck bed and fired pepper spray. The evening turned deadly when a man standing in front of this parking garage was shot. Not much is known publicly about what led to this moment, but the victim has been linked to a pro-Trump group.
At this point, the Republican Party is too far gone to be saved. Nearly 1 million people in the United States have died as a result of COVID-19, but as long as a Republican is in charge, there's nothing to see here, folks. Lindsey Graham of South Carolina came under fire by state GOP members for supporting the bipartisan infrastructure bill. If we can't even do infrastructure together, then how can we possibly govern this nation effectively? The GOP's influence continues to shatter public trust in our most important institutions. Many conspiracy theorists going so far as to take animal medication meant to deworm horses in place of the vaccine, because trained medical professionals know not of what they speak, but right-wing YouTube trolls and Fox News does, always. It's this type of hyper-partisanship that's destroying this nation's ability to govern itself, and with ridiculous propaganda raging out of control, we can only expect the idiocracy to grow tenfold.